You type a sentence, you get a photorealistic image back in about 20 seconds. It sounds like magic, and honestly, the technology behind it is just as wild as the output. Let's break it down. Welcome to Node Pulse. Today we're going deep on one of the most visually striking developments in AI, image generation. Specifically how tools like Midjourney, DALL-E, and Stable Diffusion actually work and what you can do with them. Whether you're a creator, a business owner, or just a curious person, this is worth understanding. What is AI image generation? AI image generation is exactly what it sounds like. You give an AI a description, called a prompt, and the AI creates an image that matches that description. The image is entirely generated by the model. It's not pulling something from a database. It's creating pixels from scratch. The results range from stylized illustrations to images that are virtually indistinguishable from real photographs. And the technology has improved dramatically in just the last 2 years, to the point where even researchers who study AI image generation have difficulty reliably identifying AI-generated images in controlled tests. How does it actually work? Here's the simplified version of the technology behind it. These AI image models are trained on billions of images from the internet, photographs, illustrations, art, diagrams, paired with text descriptions. The model learns the statistical relationships between words and visual patterns. It learns that sunset over the ocean has certain colors, lighting, and compositional patterns. It learns what a futuristic city at night looks like based on thousands of examples. Once trained, the model uses a process called diffusion to generate new images. You start with random noise, imagine static on a TV, and the AI progressively refines that noise into a coherent image that matches your prompt. It's like sculpting out of chaos. That's why these models are often called diffusion models. The mathematics behind this process are complex, but the intuition is straightforward. Start with chaos, iteratively remove the chaos, and what remains is an image that matches your description. The model has learned what removing chaos looks like for any given text prompt. Midjourney, the gold standard for art. Midjourney is widely considered the best image AI for artistic and cinematic output. It runs through Discord. You join their server, type a command, and your images are generated in the chat. The output has a distinctive quality: rich colors, strong composition, cinematic lighting. Midjourney is particularly good at concept art and illustrations, fantasy and sci-fi scenes, portraits and character designs, product mock-ups with an artistic feel. The main limitation is control. Midjourney doesn't always follow your prompt exactly. It interprets it. That's part of the magic, but also the frustration. You learn to write better prompts over time. Midjourney also has a strong community of users who share prompts, techniques, and workflows. The server itself is an education. Spending time in the public channels watching what prompts produce what results is one of the fastest ways to improve your output quality. DALL-E, integrated with ChatGPT, OpenAI's DALL-E 3 is built directly into ChatGPT. If you have a ChatGPT account, you can generate images by just describing what you want in the chat window. The advantage of DALL-E is how well it follows instructions, especially for text and images, something older AI image tools famously struggled with. It's also easier to iterate on. You can say, change the background to blue, and it adjusts. DALL-E is great for business graphics and marketing images, social media visuals, mock-ups and concept visuals, anything requiring specific text in the image. For most business use cases, DALL-E 3 through ChatGPT Plus is the most practical starting point. The interface is familiar, the iteration is easy, and the output is genuinely impressive for the price. Stable Diffusion, the open source option. Stable Diffusion is the open source version of this technology. Unlike Midjourney and DALL-E, you can run it on your own computer for free. The trade-off is setup complexity. You need a decent graphics card and some technical willingness to install software. But once running, it's powerful, free, and endlessly customizable. The open source community has built thousands of specialized models on top of it, models tuned for specific art styles, faces, products, and more. Platforms like Civitai host hundreds of community-built Stable Diffusion models you can download and use. If you want to generate consistent character images, specific art styles, or highly realistic portraits, the Stable Diffusion ecosystem has specialized models for all of it. Adobe Firefly, the safe choice for business. For businesses concerned about copyright, Adobe Firefly is trained exclusively on licensed and public domain content. Every image it generates is cleared for commercial use. If you're producing images for ads, websites, or products, this is the legally safest option. Firefly is integrated into Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, so designers can use it directly in their existing workflow. The generative fill feature in Photoshop, which lets you add, remove, or transform elements of an existing image using text prompts, has become one of the most practically useful AI image tools for professional designers. What this means for the future. The speed of improvement in AI image generation is hard to overstate. 2 years ago, AI images had obvious tells: weird hands, distorted faces, blurry text. Today's models produce output that requires close inspection to distinguish from a real photo. Stock photo libraries are feeling this. Getty and Shutterstock have both integrated AI generation features and are navigating complex copyright questions. Graphic design as a profession is changing. Marketing teams that used to wait weeks for a custom illustration can now get 10 concepts in an hour. This isn't replacing creativity, it's changing what a creative person can produce in a day. The value of creative talent has shifted from production, making the image, to direction, knowing what to make and why. That's actually a higher order skill set, and it's why the best designers and creative directors are more valuable than ever in the age of AI image generation. Practical prompt tips before you start. A few things to know before you go try these tools. The most important one: quality of output is almost entirely determined by quality of prompt. A mediocre prompt on Midjourney gives you mediocre images. A well-crafted prompt gives you portfolio-worthy output. The anatomy of a great image prompt: subject, style, lighting, mood, technical specs. For example, an aerial view of a modern city at sunset, photorealistic, warm golden hour lighting, cinematic atmosphere, ultra-detailed, 8K resolution. That's 6 descriptors on top of the basic subject, and each one changes the output significantly. Start by generating the same subject with different style descriptors and observe the differences. Try oil painting style versus photorealistic versus watercolor versus 3D render. Each one pulls the output in a completely different direction from the same subject. This experimentation builds your intuition faster than any tutorial. Real business applications you can use this week. Let me give you 5 specific ways to use AI image generation this week. Create a custom thumbnail for your next YouTube video or blog post. Generate 3 to 5 options and pick the best one. No Photoshop skills required. Create product mock-up imagery for a digital product you're selling. Show an ebook cover, a template preview, a course branding visual, all generated, all professional. Create visual assets for social media posts. Lifestyle images, abstract backgrounds, niche-specific illustrations, all generated in minutes. Create variations of a logo concept before investing in a professional designer. Use AI to explore directions and then hire a designer to execute the strongest one. Create interior design or renovation concepts to share with clients or visualize ideas. AI can mock up room designs from a description in seconds. That's how Image AI works, from the technology to the tools you can use today. If you want to see a deeper dive on Midjourney prompting, that's coming soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop a comment with what you'd want to generate first. See you in the next one.